Welcome back to Pregame Live, presented by Geico. If memory serves you correct, 2019, Washington Mystics get it done, climbing to the top of the WNBA mountain for their first championship. Oh my gosh, under Coach T, his 9th year with the team is this year, 3-time Coach of the Year, and he's a dad joke maven. So, of course, we had to bring him on into Wizards Pregame Live and have a conversation here before tip-off against the Wizards and the Hornets. First of all, Coach T, thank you for spending some time with us today. Coach, I really appreciate your time.
No problem. Glad to do it.
All right, Coach, let's get into it. This past season was a bit of a unique one. We know that coming off the championship year, last year was spent in the bubble. Now this year looks like things are going to get back to normal. How excited are you just to kind of get back to things being normal in your eyes?
Yeah, normal is, as you all know, normal is a real relative word these days. But it would be nice back to be in our own building, playing, and hopefully at some point during the season in front of some of our fans. We don't know what that's going to look like yet. Play a 30-plus game season, to have some of the players that were missing from us last summer be a part of it. All of that's going to feel great. And, talking to our players, they're excited just to get started. It'll be great just to get back onto the court and start playing basketball again.
Coach T, it's Chris Miller. Good to talk to you, my friend. This week the team announced that Alicia Clark's going to miss the season with that Liz Frank injury, and this is a champion coming to the program. How tough was that news, and then how do you move on, next player mentality?
Yeah, I mean, that was a blow. I mean, my first instinct is you just feel awful for her. I mean, here's somebody who has turned herself into a terrific player in this league. Probably the defensive player of the year last year in our league, a great three-point shooter. And just, she's excited about coming to D.C. and playing with this group. And, it's devastating for us. I mean, she was a big part of our off-season plans. She just does so many things well. She's a glue player, but she just knows how to play. And so, a year without her and having to make some adjustments on the fly for us, unfortunately brought back some thoughts about last year when we thought we were going to have a certain group, and all of a sudden Elena's not playing and Tina's not playing and Tasha isn't playing. So it's difficult. We're going to sign somebody in the next few days that can play that position part of the time. But she was a focal point for us this offseason. It's tough.
Coach T, Glenn Consor here, my friend.
Hey, Glenn.
Got a question for you. Does February like March?
Does February like March? If it gets here quickly. And March will like April even better.
No, April, May.
Oh,
if
my
you
God.
use
See,
that,
no.
Anyway,
No.
you like
No.
bad jokes, so I figured I'd throw it out there.
No, I don't know where that rumor started.
Okay.
That's a bad rumor.
You mentioned Natasha Cloud. You got her back. How does that make you feel? Number one, for two ways: on the court and off the court for you guys.
Well, first of all, on the court, she's kind of the director. She's the coach on the floor. Runs the team, pushes the pace. I mean, I think she's one of the 2 or 3 best guards in our league at setting a tempo for the game. She can attack the rim. She's a much, much improved three-point shooter. That was huge in trying to win a championship. I mean, even in that final game 5, she knocked down big threes in the second half. And she talks everybody through all of our defenses. She's even since she was in college, I think she's been one of those players that just studies the game on other teams. She could walk our whole team through a scouting report without the coaches being there, and we would get a lot done. Off the court, she's our conscience in many ways. I mean, we have a lot of players who are very socially aware and socially engaged. I mean, we saw that in the bubble last summer with Ariel Atkins and Maisha and, other players on the team. But Natasha, obviously took the season off to be involved in a lot of her social justice work. And she's going to, hold people in our city to standards, as we've seen that. She has a particular interest in gun control, gun violence, spends a lot of time working with the youth in our city. And, she is somebody who has not been afraid to speak up, and be heard. And so, I think that's always been good for our team. We had a very quiet team for several years, on and off the court. And, her voice has been heard, and she's encouraged others to go along with her in her voice. And so, ours is always an interesting locker room because we talk about a lot of things that aren't basketball as a general rule. And we have great debates and we have great discussions, and, it's a very socially aware team.
Coach T, Jason Smith here. I'm not going to put any awkward dad jokes out there like Glenn did right there. I just have to get your perspective on something. Russell Westbrook,
Okay.
Is he more of a blessing to coach or a nightmare to coach against?
Wow. That's a tough question. I think, I'll take the easy cop out because I only saw him, until this year as an opponent. And so I'll assume all coaches, when you have a player like that, he's a blessing to coach. But, if you're preparing a scouting report to play against him, you have to worry about so many things, particularly when he's in the mode he's in right now, like last night, making threes, attacking. You have to constantly remind your team to be back in transition because he's always going to blow it up. Running with your guy, playing, tag team with your own assignment, that doesn't get it done when Russell's on the court. I mean, he's going to blow by. You have to build a wall of defenders in transition to stop him. And he's unselfish. He's going to find people. You have to block him out on the boards. And so, there are ways that people play against him. People have said, okay, we'll dare him to, to shoot the three. We'll show a crowd and see if we can get him to turn it over. But when he's playing like he is right now, it's a nightmare to coach against him.
Coach T, we appreciate your time and thank you for all the answers and insight. Looking forward to this next season. And whenever that celebration happens for the 2019 team, we would love to be a part of it. So thank you so much, Coach. We appreciate it.
Thank you.